I'll show you where they reportedly hid some of the bodies.
Gregg Olsen is a true crime writer. His new book, Starvation Heights, chronicles the life of the mind-controlling Dr. Hazard and the misery she inflicted on dozens of true believers.
You know, many of them were well-to-do, well-known people. One of them being, you know, Ivor Hagelin's mother was one of Dr. Hazard's victims. A couple of the victims were reportedly pushed down into the ravine.
Even though local residents knew what was going on Starvation Heights, they never said a word. It finally took the pain and suffering of two wealthy British sisters to bring the demonic doctor down.
Those women were prisoners, and they couldn't get out.
Claire and Dora Williamson came to Starvation Heights after seeing an advertisement for Dr. Hazard's sanitarium. But within a month, the sisters were emaciated shadows of their former selves. Claire starved to death, but the weak and dying Dora was able to get word to her governess in Australia. And with the aid of the British consulate in Seattle, Dora got out just in time.
She weighed 38 pounds. She was basically fasted down to nothing. And they carried her out of here on a stretcher and took her to Tacoma, where basically all the criminal elements were brought forth.
The greedy doctor's grisly methods and motivations came to light.
And there seemed to be a pattern throughout her career as a starvation specialist that, people would die and she'd end up with everything. After one victim died, Dr. Hazard pulled the gold teeth out, to sell the teeth.
Governor Lister pardoned her after serving just 18 months.
But there was a condition, and the condition was that she had to leave the country. So she went off to New Zealand, and supposedly never to come back again, but she, was back probably 4 years later when she built her big building out here.
Her sanitarium.
Her sanitarium. Somehow, she came back. Why was it that those people looked the other way? This is the foundation of the old sanitarium, which burned to the ground in 1935.
Upon her return, Dr. Hazard continued to treat and starve more patients to death until her own death in 1938.
She died right here, in the house. She was in her mid-70s, and she took the fasting treatment, and I think she died after 18 days.
It's believed that during her career, Dr. Hazard was responsible for 20 to 30 deaths by starvation.
Did Dr. Hazard believe in her cure, or was she after the money? And I think that is a little bit of both, but the money was the way to get the fame and do the treatment and become this pioneer healer that she wanted to be.